Hi, this is Ozzy, and welcome to a new episode of Online Seller Circles, the VA Spotlight, where we will chat with virtual assistants and get behind the scenes on what it's like to work as a VA. Our guest for today is a VA for 3 years. She has already worked with American and Australian clients. She's a mother of a loving daughter. Let's welcome to the show, Zenn. Hi, Zenn.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. How about you?
I'm great. I actually feel great. Thank you so much for having me.
How's the weather? How's the weather in your city?
Well, right now it's actually raining, but yeah, we're just monitoring because we live by the river, so we're monitoring the water level, but so far so good.
You guys stay safe. It's also raining here in Manila. It has been continuous and it's kind of a bad weather. Hopefully, within the next few days, the sun comes out again and, it's going to be shiny and a better weather. Let's go for a better weather.
Yes, that's true.
That's great. So tell me a little bit about yourself. I mean, who is Zenn?
Okay, so I'm a working mom of one kid, married, and I'm actually a virtual assistant working for a UK client now. So most of my time at home is actually spent doing household chores, but I see to it that every weekend is a family time. And then later in the afternoon, I work for a UK client. And during my free and me time, I love going to spas, watching YouTubes.
Wow.
Yeah, that's it.
I haven't, I think I haven't gone to a spa in a long time. But before becoming a VA, what did you do? I mean, what was your profession?
Well, before actually 1 year before I started my online career, I already asked my friends who's looking for some freelancers or virtual assistants. And it so happened that I came across with an old colleague who's looking for a VA for her US client with or without experience. So I actually grabbed
Great.
the opportunity. I resigned immediately from my corporate job because I don't want to lose the chance. So yeah, that's it.
That's great. It's kind of, I would say it's fate that you left the job and jumped, you risked it all and jumped to what you've called an online career. I like that you called it an online career because it sounds professional versus to
That's
being called
right.
a virtual assistant. I love that. But what is it that attracted you to becoming a virtual assistant?
All right. So I'm sure you've heard this a lot, but I like the freedom of managing your own time. Like you don't
Yeah.
have to wake up early to start your
Yep.
day because you need to prepare. You need to consider your travel time. Then,
Yeah.
go to work and arrive home late and still manage to take care of your baby or your kids. So as a VA, as a virtual assistant, you have more time for your family, more time for yourself, and yet you feel that you're productive.
And I like the fact that when the pandemic hit, we were already virtual assistants. So we were not affected that much versus the ones who were working in a corporate setup wherein some had to leave their jobs, some were laid off, some, had to process, some had to adjust to the virtual
Yes,
work environment. Whereas during the pandemic, before it hit, we were already working as virtual assistants. We were already
right.
working from home. So I guess that's also one advantage. And I know that as a virtual assistant, you don't have to wake up early. Like you can just wake up 5-10 minutes before your shift and then you just, dress up comfortably and start working.
That's
I
right.
also love that, right?
I
And
agree.
yeah. So how did you've mentioned that you left your corporate job and jumped and risked to becoming a virtual assistant. Did you apply through Facebook groups? Did you go through online job portals? How did you apply within your past clients? How did you apply as a virtual assistant?
Well, as I've said through my friend, but I actually saw their job posting in Facebook. So
Mm,
I saw her posting that job post. So that's why I immediately sent her a private message through Facebook as well, through Messenger. And, I told her that, hey, I saw your job posting, and it says that you don't have to have an experience, so I don't have an experience. Can you, or can I apply, or can you refer me to your client? And she said, yeah, definitely.
that's great. I actually got hired as a VA through a friend as well. I mean, I also just took the leap of faith and left the call center setup, the call center scene here in the Philippines. And luckily, I got in. I didn't have any experience as well as a social media manager, but luckily I got the job and I'm loving it. So far, I'm loving it. And
Yep.
what do you love most about being a recruitment manager in a virtual work setup? Well, for before you answer that, for our viewers, well, actually, Zenn is the recruitment manager for Global VA Solutions, and this interview is kind of special because she was hired through GVAS to work for GVAS as well. Now, I'm just interested, what do you love most about your recruitment manager role here in GVAS?
Well, aside from the freedom to work from home, work anywhere as long as there's good internet, and work at your own pace as long as you finish your task, what I love most being recruiter is that I'm able to help someone find their dream job, and at the same time help my company, help our clients to find the talent that they need to succeed, for their business to actually grow. That's what I love most, because it's actually self-fulfilling, because you feel productive if you're helping someone, and at the same time not just the VA himself or herself, but also the client that you're working for, or your clients.
And isn't it kind of an achievement when you've deployed a VA to a client and then you hear a news that this VA is performing really well and that the client is really happy? It's kind of
Yes.
an achievement as well, right?
Yes,
It
as a
feels
recruiter, you see your candidates as your kid, that you're
good.
trying to encourage them to be passionate on their work, to do their job very well, and then you're receiving feedbacks from clients that they like your candidate, or the applicant, that they're performing well. Somehow it also reflects who you are as a recruiter.
Do they reach out to you? I mean, do they reach back to you to let you know that like clients and the VA alike, do they go back to you to let you know that you've done a good job, that I'm happy as their VA and that I'm happy as a client with the VA that you've provided me? Do they do that? Do they give you personal feedback?
Yes, not just the reviews, through Facebook group of the
Yeah.
company, but yeah, just for example, we actually hired recently a VA who's actually sending, or who sent me actually a personal text message, that he said, "Thank you for all your help. You are a star." It somehow makes you really feel very happy that they are, or someone is actually very grateful and appreciate of what you've done. So yeah.
It's kind of, I would call it, it's kind of a match made in heaven when you've provided a client with a VA that they want and that they
That's
need
right.
as well, and they also jive and they are also a best fit. It's kind of fulfilling as a recruitment manager, I must agree. But
Correct.
the most, on the contrary, what's the most challenging part of working as a recruitment manager?
um well, because I'm a people person, I really like to communicate with people right away, like face to face. So, and I used to do that, like, meeting all your candidates, your applicants. But now, because you're working virtually. So
Virtually.
somehow, yes, the challenge would be the communication part of it, because you're waiting for them to reply to your email through chat, and somehow, it's taking so much of your time. In but aside from that, when you're in a company and you're in the office, you can just tell them right away. You can just tell them that, hey, let's meet to this room and I will tell you something. But here, you really have to wait for the responses.
I agree. I would say that communication is a very vital aspect or factor in a remote work setup. I think we have a vlog. I think we have a content about that. That communication is kind of challenging. It's already challenging in a physical workplace, but it gets more challenging in a remote work setup. Apart from the delay in the response, there's also the concern of the tone of voice on the emails, on your chats, and
Yeah.
also channel wherein they will communicate with you, if they'll be communicating through messenger, if they're comfortable communicating through email. So it's kind of a mixture of a lot of things, and I really agree that communication is very vital, and it's a really challenge, it's a real challenge in a remote work setup.
True.
But because I know that you were hired through Global VA Solutions. Now, I'm interested because personally, I wasn't hired through GVAS. Walk me through the process. I mean, what was it like?
Well, for the GVAS process, I find it actually very easy. The process of me applying online, in my case through onlinejobs.ph, and
Mhm.
I applied, and then I received a response, I think in just 2 days, asking me to answer a set of questions and just video myself. And that's it. I was invited already for the final interview. So basically, you just have to record yourself, answer the questions that were provided
Mhm.
already, so you have time to prepare and send it. Basically, that's very easy. And then I receive a response or an invite already for the final interview a couple of days after that.
So it's very efficient. From how I get it, it's kind of efficient. It's not time consuming, and it also did not waste.
Yes. Yes, unlike with others, you really have to go through a lot of interview stages before you reach the final interview, and you're not
Yep.
ready with the questions. So, yeah.
I read that also. I've seen some processes from other recruiting companies, and it's kind of tedious. Like you have to go through a lot of assessments, you have to go through a lot of interviews before you get to the final interview. And sometimes, even if you pass the final interview, it takes some time before they provide you with a job offer. But it's amazing that you mentioning this to me, that the GVAS experience is, I would say, faster than
That's
most
right.
competitors. That's great. That's really nice to hear. So, but if you could choose one aspect of your hiring experience, what has been the best and why?
I think I would consider the best one would be the initial interview, because the questions are already given. It's actually my first time, since I became a virtual assistant 3 years ago. It's my first time um, going through this process of recording yourself and
Right,
answer a set of questions and then send it, and
right.
then that's it. Yeah, I really like it.
It's much easier, and
That's
you're
right.
able to compose your thoughts. You're
Mm-hmm.
able to provide the answer that you want to provide, whereas if the questions are asked on the spot, sometimes because of the nerves setting in, you tend to forget whatever you want to say. You tend to forget whatever answer you really want to provide, and then after the interview everything will come back, and then you will just regret that you weren't able to provide the best answer. That's a great thing that the questions are already provided and that you can review and prepare very well. It all just boils down to how you're able to compose your thoughts and provide the answer during the interview. That's great.
Yep.
Now
Right.
I'm curious to know, what does Zen's day look like? How does Zen's day look like on a daily basis?
Yeah, so I wake up. Since I'm a mom, I have responsibilities at home. So I basically do all the household chores in the morning, help my daughter prepare for school. Um, I prepare lunch and meal for my husband before he goes to work. And in the afternoon, I already prepare for work because my shift is actually in the afternoon. So I already prepare for work. I set up my laptop and see what are the things that I need to do. So I have a list or to-do list of everything that I need to do, and that's it.
That's a huge advantage that, you work from home and you're a hands-on mom because you're able to attend to, the tasks that you really need to attend apart from your work, but most importantly, in your home. You're able to cook, you're able to look after your daughter, you're able to, do the normal house chores before you finally log into your computer and start working.
That's right.
Now, my last question for you tonight is that for those watching who are thinking, who are wanting to become a virtual assistant, what one piece of advice would you give them?
I think what I can advise them is do not lose your passion to learn new things, because it takes a lot of hard work and dedication and patience as well for you to realize that working from home is really the job for you. Especially right now, Ozzy, we know this very well. The competition is very keen.
Yeah.
A lot of young people now have this new skill set that
Yep.
you really need to step up for you to
Yep.
learn new set of skills and make yourself more competitive and marketable as well. So do not lose your passion. Be passionate and be dedicated as well.
I love that. I love that you pointed out that you have to be very competitive. You have to be marketable. Um Normally I would say that you have to make yourself necessary so that people, clients, your managers, your bosses will, won't hard you. They would have difficulties resisting you. We would have difficulties not hiring you. So it's really a good thing that you pointed it out that, you have to be passionate for you to be competitive and for you to be marketable.
That's
Thank
right.
you so much for your time tonight, Zen. And do you have anything to say? Like, do you have any, I would say, message to people who are watching, to those who want to be part of the GVAS family?
Yeah, so first, Ozzy, thank you for having me, for
You're
giving me this opportunity to share
welcome.
my experience as a virtual assistant. For those who are watching right now, global based solutions can really actually help you to not just develop your skills, but to mold you and shape you on the online career that you have always wanted. So if you really want to be trained, global VA solutions can really help you.
That's great. That's really great. Basically, Zen has worked in the corporate industry for a couple of years, for several years before taking the plunge and diving into the virtual assistant ecosystem. And she hasn't looked back since. She loves what she's doing right now, and she loves that she's able to manage her time. She's able to work at home while at the same time looking after her family. Thank you so much for gracing the
Thank
show,
you.
Zen. We
You're
hope that you
welcome.
prosper more and best of luck to your career. If you've
Yeah.
enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment for us below. That's it for today, and see you again next time here on the VA Spotlight. Bye.